The other day, I attended a talk by one of my favorite authors, David Meerman Scott, and was lucky enough to chat with him afterwards. However, as we talked, he told me something that has sat funny with me ever since. He said, "I don't use the term social anymore. It has no value to business. That's why I use the term real-time instead."
What you talking about, Willis?
This made me very sad, as my whole career has been about evangelizing social. Is it really over for social? Will it always be a company afterthought? Is it forever doomed to be relegated to the function of the intern or junior marketer?
You're doomed.
Today, I'm going to talk about why I think David gave up too easily, why rebranding social as real-time is a big mistake, and what we need to do to give legitimacy to social once again. Hi, my name is Tara, and this is Truly Social. I've never loved the term social media. I love the social bit, but saying social media feels like it's putting the emphasis on the wrong bits. It's not about the media. The media is irrelevant.
It's not important, okay?
We were social beings long before social networks existed, and if social networks were to go away today, we would continue to be social.
I was not aware of that.
The media part just allows us to be social more colorfully, simply, frequently, and with more animated GIFs. I think the main reason that businesses can't take social seriously is because social is not as tangible as some other forms of marketing, or at least the measurement of it is more fuzzy.
I'm tired of getting the fuzzy end of the lollipop.
I've known this for a while, so in 2009 I shone a light on social capital, or WOOFY, in my book, The WOOFY Factor. WOOFY, for those of you who missed my book, is an ephemeral form of capital that you gain by being nice, networked, or notable. The term was coined by Cory Doctorow in his book Down and Out in the Magic Kingdom. The thesis of my book was that WOOFY, or social capital, is the currency of social. Though companies like Cloud and now the Social Blue Book have attempted to quantify this currency, there's still a lot of value that can't be captured.
I like people that weren't captured, okay?
For example, how do you quantify trust, relevancy, likability?
I like you a lot.
You can count the number of nodes in a network, but it's near impossible to quantify the strength of those nodes as they shift frequently and contextually.
I am living with notes.
But the lack of being able to quantify social does not mean it's worthless. Even without measurement, I know that a social connection is worth way more than a social engagement, like a like or a comment or even a share. So I shared your touching ad, but I would take a bullet for most of my friends. A rose by any other name, right? Well, renaming social something so personal and nuanced to real-time kind of sucks the joy right out of it. I socialize. I'm feeling social or antisocial. He's socially inept. She's a social butterfly. These are all descriptions of how we interact with other human beings. Real time, it just describes when that happens. It's an important aspect of social, but it's not the heart and soul of it.
Heart and soul. I fell in love with you, heart and soul.
But social didn't really have a chance, did it? The minute marketers saw that it was making an impact on customer sentiment and capturing people's attention, they swarmed in like a pack of rabid dogs.
We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us.
Everyone with a Facebook or Twitter account was a social media guru, delving out terrible advice to unwitting brands.
In your rambling, incoherent response, were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought?
In the aftermath of all this chaos, what other conclusion can businesses come to other than social doesn't work for business?
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
It doesn't, not like that. But now there are enough case studies of companies doing it right and seeing huge success through social strategy. Not just real-time stuff either, though that's definitely part of it. I vote that we just call it social, and that it includes the non-digital stuff too, like customer service and experience and product design and events and loyalty and every possible point of interaction that a business has with its customers.
Shut up and take my money!
And measurement, it has to be about sentiment and affinity and likability and social lift online and off and other qualitative data points. And we have to come to terms with the many nuanced points of social interaction where we can't capture something that looks good on a spreadsheet, like someone seeing a friend post a product recommendation on Twitter and getting up and driving to the store to buy it, or why we really abandon that shopping cart.
I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
And remember, advertising before the web had very little actual data attached to it. Businesses just didn't have any other choice than to believe it worked.
My gut says maybe.
Let's take social back. Let's get it to a point where we can be proud of it again. My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.